Assalamu alaikum, my dearest and nearest students. Welcome back on Karachians Academy channel. Today I have come with the continuation of the letter we started last session. Remember, last session we talked about formal letter, and formal letter is the part of or task of directed writing, section 1. Formal letter is the most important task of section 1 directed writing, and we were dealing with it. So let's continue where we left off. Formal letter is a letter to authorities. Formal letter is always addressed to somebody senior to you. The person you address writing a formal letter is senior to you. The person you address writing a formal letter may be your principal, maybe your manager, maybe your teacher, or maybe your librarian. But the person you are writing to in your formal letter must be senior to you, must be an authority to you. So let's pick up where we left off last time. Formal letter, as I discussed earlier, must begin with the salutation. There is no need for address, there is no need for date. Letter writing does not require any address or any date. Any formal letter, even an informal letter. But because we are discussing a formal letter today, so let me remind you that a formal letter does not need any address or date. It must begin with salutation. It must begin with greeting. So sometimes we use the name, sometimes we use the designation. So when we use the designation of the person we are writing to, we use the designation dear principal, it may be dear editor, it may be dear librarian, it may be dear manager, it may be dear director, whatever it may be, but it is a designation. Dear principal, as you can make out, dear principal, principal is a designation. And then the opening paragraph follows it. The opening paragraph must be the expansion of the first content point given in the task. The opening paragraph is just like the opening batsman in cricket. The opening batsman opens the match, and the opening batsman provides a good batting line for the others to follow. The same way, exactly the same way, the opening paragraph works. The opening paragraph of your directed writing, section 1, may be the opening paragraph of any letter, report, magazine article, speech, or whatever. But that opening paragraph must function as opening batsman. The opening paragraph must allow the following paragraphs to interconnect with it, just like an opening batsman in the cricket match. So let's come back to the point. Salutation is followed by the opening paragraph. The opening paragraph is basically the expansion of the first content point given in the task. The opening paragraph must discuss the purpose of the task. It must be in very clear, it must be in very clear, it must be in very clear English. I have repeated 3 times because this is a very important thing. Most of the candidates or students give it a miss. While writing a letter, they forget the purpose of the letter. While writing a magazine article, they forget the purpose of the magazine article. While writing a report, they forget the purpose of the report in the opening paragraph. While writing a speech, candidates or students forget the purpose of the speech in the opening paragraph. The purpose of your letter, the purpose of your report, the purpose of your magazine article, the purpose of your speech must be taken care of or must be dealt with very carefully in the opening paragraph. The opening paragraph is also an introductory paragraph. It must state the function, the purpose. The opening paragraph is an introductory paragraph. It must state the function or the purpose of the given task. This is why we call it an opening paragraph, or in other words, an introductory paragraph. The opening paragraph is followed by the body paragraph or subject matter paragraph, which is an expansion of the second content point. The body paragraph or the subject matter paragraph is an expansion of the second content point. Remember, second content point. Second content point is already given in the task, and the body paragraph or the subject matter paragraph is the expansion of the second content point. That body paragraph or the subject matter paragraph must expand upon the second content point in such a way that the second body paragraph, the second paragraph or the body paragraph or the subject matter paragraph interlinks with the opening paragraph. That link is very important. Remember, however excellent your body paragraph or subject matter paragraph, I mean the second paragraph, may be, it will not serve the purpose until it links well to the opening paragraph. So, second paragraph, which is body or subject matter paragraph, must interlink with the opening paragraph. That's very important. Then we arrive at the last or closing paragraph. The closing paragraph of your formal letter must elaborate the third content point of the task. And the closing paragraph must conclude the task given you in the exam. The closing paragraph, I repeat, must elaborate the third content point and it must conclude the purpose of the task. So these things are very important to students. Most of the times, students, candidates taking Cambridge exams think that they are being assessed on their knowledge. As earlier I mentioned, Cambridge exam, whatever subject you take, be it mathematics, history, geography, physics, chemistry, or English, has nothing to do with your knowledge. It has something to do with your understanding of the subject. Cambridge exam has nothing to do with your knowledge. It has a lot to do with your understanding of the subject. So the closing paragraph must conclude the task, and when you close the letter, you must come to the closing complement. If you have started the letter, you have written with the designation of the person you have addressed, so yours faithfully will follow. If you have started the letter, you have already written, addressed the person by name, you will close your formal letter yours sincerely. I repeat, if you have addressed to the person you are writing to by designation, you will close your letter yours faithfully. If you have addressed to the person you are writing to by name, you will close your letter yours sincerely. It must be remembered. It must be kept in mind that letter will close yours faithfully if it has been addressed to the person by designation. Letter will close yours sincerely if you have addressed to the person by name. So this is a very important point, and there must be a proper balance. Strike the right balance between two closing complements of your formal letter. Yours faithfully, yours sincerely. Yours faithfully is used once you have addressed the person you are writing to by designation. Yours sincerely is used once you have addressed the person you are writing to by name. So this is all about formal letter. I just want to specify one important thing, the marks and the time allotment. The time allotted to directed writing section 1 is half an hour, 1.5 hours. Half an hour, 1.5 hours time duration goes for the whole paper 1 writing. So remember, half an hour, 30 minutes, half an hour time is allotted to section 1 directed writing out of 1.5 hours. The rest of the time is allotted to section 2 composition that we will discuss later. Half an hour is spent on directed writing section 1 and 30 marks are allotted. 30 marks are allotted, out of which 15 marks are for task instruction and 15 marks are for language. Task instruction has two segments, tone and register. Tone, the style of your directed writing task. Suppose you have written a letter, so you must adopt the tone of a letter. What is the letter tone? Formal letter tone is serious. What is the informal letter tone? Chatty, friendly. What is the report writing tone? Document. Here you adopt the document style. What is the magazine article writing tone? Because magazine article is published and it is intended for the readership. So here you adopt the readership tone. What is the speech writing tone? Conversation tone. So we adopt different tones while writing different tasks. This is a very important point, and this remains missing when students are dealing with section 1 directed writing. In fact, believe me, my dearest and nearest students and my viewers, quite a few students have a clear concept of directed writing section 1 of paper 1 writing. Quite a few students have a very vivid concept of directed writing section 1 of paper 1. Why? There may be different reasons, but one reason is very clear: they have no clear insight into it, or they are not grounded in the basics. Let's come back to the point. So task instruction has two segments, tone. Here we adopt a proper style. For formal letter, we adopt a serious tone. For informal letter, we adopt a friendly tone. For magazine article writing, we adopt a readership tone. For speech writing, we adopt a conversation tone. For report writing, we adopt a document tone. And what about the letter to the editor? Letter to the editor, as I have already mentioned, formal letter needs adopting the serious tone. But letter to the editor is a bit different because it is intended for readership. It is published in the newspaper. So once again, letter to the editor shares magazine article writing tone. Letter to the editor shares magazine article writing tone. It shares magazine article writing tone, that is readership tone. It means magazine article writing and letter to the editor have something in common, and that is the tone. They both need the readership tone. So this is about task instruction. Out of 30, the remaining 15 marks are allocated for language, and language has 4 segments. Spelling must be correct. Grammar, it must be correct. Tenses must be correct. Structures, compound complex sentences are preferred. Topic vocabulary, the most important thing, the first and foremost thing, the part and parcel of your paper 1 writing. Topic vocabulary. And it goes without saying that topic vocabulary is the lifeblood of your composition. Cambridge does not want high-flown language, high-flown vocabulary. No, Cambridge has nothing to do with high-flown or sophisticated vocabulary. Cambridge wants the candidates or the students to use topic vocabulary. Topic vocabulary. Topic vocabulary covers a wide range of nouns, verbs, adjectives, noun phrases, verb phrases, adjective phrases, collocations, usages, idiomatic expressions or phrasal verbs. This is what we call topic vocabulary. Topic vocabulary does not necessarily mean using words. No. Topic vocabulary has something more to give. Topic vocabulary is more of usage, more of vocabulary. This is a very important point. The 4th segment of language is punctuation. How to punctuate your sentence, how to capitalize, when to capitalize, where to capitalize the letter, where to put the end mark. Remember, there are 3 end marks in punctuation. Those 3 end marks in punctuation are full stop, question mark, mark of exclamation. Full stop, question mark, mark of exclamation. Full stop is used for statement, declarative sentence. Question mark is used for an interrogative sentence. Mark of exclamation is used for exclamatory sentences. So that's all for today, and I hope that my viewers and my dearest and nearest students make the most of this lesson. This is basically formal letter writing, and this formal letter writing is a very important subject to discuss. This is why I have exhausted the subject today. So this formal letter writing is complete today, and I have already told you, I've already informed you that formal letters have 2 closing complements. 2 closing complements. Yours faithfully, yours sincerely. Once again, pay attention to yours sincerely, yours faithfully, and yours sincerely. Do not take comma. Yours faithfully. Usually students put a comma here, which is wrong. Comma denies the mark. The same way, yours sincerely, usually students put a comma here. I'm talking about the apostrophe comma, which is unnecessary here or wrong here. So never ever place or put the comma over your. It must be yours faithfully or yours sincerely, because it is a possessive pronoun. I hope you have got my point and you have learned the hang of it. Thank you very much.